This is Trip. They said they needed somebody whose mic demeanor matches how the D-League get it hype inside that ice arena. For live action analysis and highlights, you need to let your host on the mic, Mr. Reichert, be the light to lead you through life between the pipes. Incite like an encyclopedia. Look inside yourself, find the fight to compete in you. Get in while you can, the numbers doubling fast. Asses in the seats and snot bubbles on the glass. Sign your name on the line for your spot and lock it up. This is hockey. We'll see who talking tough when they drop the puck. Try to keep your teeth and knock it up. Sorry about your luck. You should probably go sit down somewhere safe and get doctored up. Turn it up loud, let it knock in your truck. Or in the office, sound waves ripple through coffee cups. Come on. Log on, lock it in, and lock it up. It's DLeagueRadio.com. Let's talk it up. Log on, lock it in, and lock it up. It's DLeagueRadio.com. Let's talk it up. Lace your skates up or sit back reading the tea leaves. You are now tuned into the D-League. If you ain't bumping this in your ride, you need a DD. You are now tuned into the D-League. Leave your TV, come and see it in 3D. You are now tuned into the D-League. It's the best podcast in the biz, better believe me. You are now tuned into the D-League.
Good afternoon, hockey fans. Welcome to the 1 p.m. matchup. This is the first novice semifinal featuring the number 1 Knights versus the 6th seed Bandits. Great to have you with us here on D-League Radio. I'm Matt Whips. I'm joined in the booth by Jeremy Sandy. Jeremy, the semifinals are here.
They are, and these are the types of games I live for. One, it's hockey, and it's just the coolest sport on ice. So I'm excited for that. Second of all, you get the number 6 seed versus number 1 seed in the playoffs. Always a fun game to watch. The 6 seed Bandits are coming into this off of a hot win from the Goldfish in the quarterfinals. They are hungry. They're ready to win. If they bring forth that same heart and effort that they brought against the Goldfish in the last round, the Knights are going to be very tempted to not blow this, if you will, being the number 1 seed. The Knights, very talented, very solid team. If they continue to do what they've done all year, which they have 0 losses. They're 5-0 against the Bandits. This would be a hard-fought game for the Bandits to come away from with a win.
Well, and as you said, the Knights won the season series 5-0. However, I look at the trends of these scores, and the most recent one on March 31st, it was 6-4. So that tells me the Bandits are confident that they can score against the Knights. And I would say, too, that this is definitely a resurgent Bandits team. I mean, they've definitely gained confidence as the years go on. Yes, they only won 2 games in the regular season, but they've been battling for several weeks, and they've been in almost every game. They're not getting blown out. So I look for a good effort for them. Obviously, they're coming off their quarterfinal win over the Goldfish, a thriller 2 weeks ago at 4-3. And the Knights have been off for a couple weeks. They had that first round bye, so it's always interesting to see how that's going to affect things. But I think it's going to be a great matchup. We got Dan Fry back in net.
Yes,
for the Bandits.
Back.
So welcome, Dan. He also played in the previous game, so he's going Iron Man today, back to back.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was in net for the Goldfish as well. So.
Well, he's definitely braver than I am, coming off a heart attack and playing 2 in a row.
Yeah, well, no jokes to be made there. It's just, we're glad to see him, and I hope everything goes well. We'll certainly be watching, and I'm sure everything will be fine. So we got hockey coming up very shortly. In the meantime, we want to remind you that D-League Radio is brought to you by the Keg Stand, now in its 4th year being our primary sponsor. They're located at 3530 Westtown Parkway in West Des Moines. Over 90 beers on tap with new tappings every week, special events and parties throughout the year, and a full menu of some of the best food in town. It's not just bar food, it's good food over there at the Keg Stand. The official home of the CIDL, and as always, the home of D-League Radio. So, Jeremy, I'm looking at the stats here, and obviously the Knights, undefeated as you mentioned. They got Ryan Gerhardy with 23 goals, Freddie Kreischer with 20, Travis White with 12. They come at you in waves. the Bandits counter with Nick Reynolds with 16, Jordan Guy with 7, Josh Dunt with 6. So they do it more by committee. So as you mentioned before, it's the Bandits who are looking for their first win of the year. How do they counter this?
Well, they have to come in hot, and they have to come in strong. The Bandits have to show the Knights that they're here to play, and they have to show them early. They have to get them off balance. They have to get them kind of playing out of their comfort zone. They have to really put the pressure on them early so that the Knights know they're here to play, and it's not just going to be a walk in the park for them. The Knights are not used to being behind. They're the type of team that gets in there early, they'd like to score, and they like to really set the tone early on. If the Bandits can come out and set the tone for themselves, then the Knights are really going to have to play a game they're not used to playing all year.
Well, it's a great point. Obviously, the Knights are used to building leads early and often. So if the Bandits can somehow get on the board first, or at least get through the first period, maybe only down a goal, I like their chances for a competitive game. But they definitely don't want to get on the wrong side of the score early, or the Knights will just build in their confidence from there. But hey, it's the playoffs. This is why we love it. We don't know what's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to a great matchup.
Reminder that the D-League broadcasts are coming to you from the Collins Community Credit Union broadcast booth here at Buccaneer Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. The D-League will be having an event after this season is over at the Cake Stand. We will have more details on that in the coming weeks. And just in case this goes to overtime, something I think this is actually new this year, we will have a 4-on-4 overtime 5-minute period before we go to a shootout to help determine the winner of the game, because unlike the regular season, there will be no ties.
There will be no ties. So yes, that is always a possibility, something we'll definitely talk about more if the time comes to that. All right, so we're ready to drop the puck. Kreisa wins it back, goes past Etnier. He won it so cleanly. So Derek will take it behind his own net. Sends it right up the middle, but gets it out. As a defenseman, I always kind of cringe when I see that, but it worked out that time. We're going to have an offsides call here early on. So I imagine here as the game first gets underway, both teams have a little bit of the jitters to get through, so I'm sure they'll settle down very shortly.
Yeah, Andrew Farron has just come on, only playing about half the season, so he might have a few more jitters than everybody else.
That's all right. He'll get used to it. All right, that's cleared out by the Knights. And I thought they might wave that off, but no, it will be an icing call. We're just underway here from the Collins Community Credit Union, and we're nice and toasty warm thanks to the ever-present space heaters. I think this is spring, isn't it? It was like in the 30s when I left the house this morning.
Yeah, you know, last week I'm pretty sure I was wearing flip-flops and enjoying gin Ricky on my porch, but not today.
Welcome to spring in Iowa. Face-offs won. Hall now looking to clear. Kept in by Hoffman. Centered by Keener. That shot by Reynolds. Hansen stirs that aside. Hoffman shoots that wide. Good pressure by the Bandits here early. Reynolds chips it back down. Curtis gets it over. Guy who shoots. Reynolds with the rebound. Hansen makes two big saves there, Jeremy.
He does. He stayed in there and would not let that puck out. He came kind of a brick wall right there.
Now Tom Evridis brings it in. Off the post. So quite a sequence there as the Knights got their first pressure of the game. And the Bandits will gladly take the icing there. So good counter there by the Knights, and they show just how dangerous they can be. After spending really the first 2 minutes of the game, the first opportunity they have is inches from being in the net.
Yeah, O'Reilly was in the right place at the right time there, and, you know, aim was good. He just bounced it right off the post there, but that does show how dangerous the Knights can be when they get a hold of the puck.
So Gerhardy wins it back. That's going to be Dunt who brings it in. Trying to get around Taylor. Dunn shoots. That goes wide. Jaggerson keeps that in. Tries to get it down to Dunn. That gets past him. Field by Shedawai. Jaggerson again on net. Good shot. And Hansen had to be sharp there. So very good velocity from Jaggerson as he got that through a maze of players.
Hansen did a very good job of squaring up to Jagerson just as he was taking that shot so that any possible hole was eliminated.
All right, so Fortner now in the face-off. Again, one back by Gerhardy. Shedawai chips it up. Again, kept in by Jaggerson temporarily. Now Gerhardy has a step. He has to retrieve the puck first, which is down below the goal line. Looking to center. That's broken up nicely by Becky Current. Shedawai chips it in deep for the Knights. There's a little mix-up there. Centered by Gibson. That went through everybody. Shedawai shoots. Fry makes the save. It almost looked like he wasn't sure where it was. Well, that's because it's in his pads.
Yeah, I believe it went buried it right in his left skate pad.
All right. So he pulls out a puck. Not sure if it's the same one that went in there, but in any event, he does make the save. So we mentioned earlier, Fry just got done playing for the Goldfish, so he's plenty warmed up. And now he's involved in this game as well. Attempt to clear. That one's kept in by the Knights. Center, that goes all the way through. That's going to be Foreman who brings it out. He's trying to get around Etnier and does. Now he centers, and that one's blocked off nicely by Kreisa. Busby now keeps it in. Good pressure by the Bandits here early. Foreman over to Andrew Farron. He chips it up. Now it's going to be taken by the Knights, but kept in nicely by Busby.
The Bandits are showing really good offensive zone pressure right now. They're getting good, clean passes out. They're recognizing where each other are, and they're actually setting up very good plays against a very good defensive Knights team.
Farron now back to the point. Good play there. That's chipped in. Farron still with it on his stick. Now it's taken away nicely by Etnier. Etnier brings it out for the Knights. Got it up to Travis White, who regains the puck. White now centers. He was trying to hit Jeff Taylor, but that got past him. Now we're going to have a penalty. Looks like it's going to be a trip here as soon as the Bandits touch the puck. Hansen has come off for the extra attacker. Now Taylor chips it up to Kreisa. Bandits still looking to touch this puck so they can get a stoppage in play. And now finally, Scott Crowther makes contact. And it is going to be, I believe, Chris McIntyre.
Yeah, I think it was McIntyre that got the tripping on Taylor down in the corner there.
All right, so McIntyre comes to the bench. So after that really nice surge here early for the Bandits, they find themselves with a man down. This is going to be a big test now for the Bandits.
The Bandits have to come out strong and kill this penalty. They have to make a statement against the Knights.
And so Reynolds wins it back. Hoffman chips it up, but not out. And now Jordan Guy does make the clearing attempt. Knights look to reset up to Hall. Hall has O'Reilly with him. Hall gets it over to O'Reilly. Good poke check there by Hoffman. O'Reilly had it right on his stick, right in the slot. Now White up to the captain, Taylor McKee. She has it taken off her stick by Reynolds. Now Hoffman lobs it up and out. It's intercepted by Hall. Brad Hall has Mavridis in the middle. He fires and scores. So Brad Hall puts it on net. It sort of floated, Jeremy, and then it just sort of fooled Dan Fry, and it's 1-0 Knights.
Yeah, those bouncing pucks are a goalie's worst enemy. That came in, just a 5-hole shot, and it bounced on the ice right before it got to Fry and went right over his stick and went 5-hole right to the back of the net.
Yeah, those are tough. I think any goalie will say either keep it on the ice or have it airborne from the beginning, but those little lobbers can be crazy, and they take some strange bounces. And it's the Knights who open the scoring. Now Reynolds for the Bandits. Centers! Somehow Hansen made the save.
I think Hansen swallowed that up right in the 5-hole. He fell on it.
Jordan Guy was right in front where he needed to be, and I think you're right. I don't think he ever got the shot off because Hansen sort of swallowed that up before any shot could be made. But a great opportunity for the Bandits. Reynolds now wins it over again. That one's deflected wide. Mike Taylor wraps it around. Now it's going to be Fisher. Has it roll off his stick. Tim Gibson's going to get there first and try to center it. Back to the point. That one's deflected wide. Curtis now looking to clear. Kept in by Mike Taylor. And that one caroms off Hippen. Centered, just off the stick of Fisher. Now Reynolds comes out for the Bandits. Reynolds now with a burst of speed. Gerhardy staying with him. Reynolds now look for help, centers. That's kept in by Hoffman. He's going to dump it down deep, and the Bandits continue to apply pressure. Reynolds now centers it up right up the middle and eludes everyone. Now Hippen's going to try to get there first, and does. Still in the zone, though. And now Hippen gets it out on the second try. Now the Knights are off sides. Still off sides, and now Gerhardy brings it in. Has Gibson in the middle. Centers, goes right behind him, though. Now Current looks to clear, but it's kept in by Taylor. Jonathan Taylor fires wide. Now Hoffman trying to clear. The Knights establishing a good forecheck now. Now Reynolds. Gonna bring it in himself. Nick Reynolds looking for help now. Hits the brakes. Gets it down deep where it's taken by Gerhardy. Ryan Gerhardy. Leading scorer for the Knights in the regular season with 23. He has his pocket picked. Here comes Simon Fortney. Now Dunt pinches in. Good pressure by the Bandits. McKee wraps it around, but it's intercepted by Fortner. It goes centers. That goes through everybody. Now Jack Miller chips it up, but Current will keep it in. She centers over to Dunt. Couldn't quite get a clean look at that one. Now Travis White will try to clear. Right up the middle, but he gets it through. Fry will play this over to Jaggerson. Mark Jaggerson throws it up the side, and that will result in an icing call. So 8:57 to go here in the first, still 1-0 Knights. This is the first of 4 semifinals today. Of course, this is the Bandits and Knights. We'll have the Voodoo and Wild Goose for you at 2:15. Then the intermediate side of things gets going at 3:30 with the Wolverines and the #1 Iowans, and then the Benders and Jesters conclude the proceedings at 4:45. Puck on net, and Fry swallows that one up. So, Jeremy, the Bandits continue to apply pressure, but now the Knights are starting to counter that pressure.
Yeah, the Bandits have shown control, if you will, throughout the first half of this first period. They are taking the puck. They're doing kind of what they want. Other than putting it in the back of the net, they have been controlling the play throughout this first half of this first period.
Foreman now brings it up. Now loses it in his skates, but now gets it back. He's got Farron on the opposite end. Attempted to put it on net. And Hansen steers that aside. Farron now is bothered by White. White gets it back, and now he's going to bring it out. Ooh, good poke check there by Chris McIntyre. Taylor McKee now gets it up to Kreisa, but eludes him, and now Foreman will dump it in. Kreisa gets it back from Farron. Now right up the middle, and McIntyre counters again. So a lot of back and forth now in the neutral zone. Miller now up to Jeff Taylor. That rolls off his stick. That's taken by Foreman for the Bandits. Jackson Foreman now brings it in. He's got Farron and Busby with him. He fires that wide. Farron will get it along the right wing. Centers. Good defense there as Foreman could not quite get that cleanly. That one goes through a maze of bodies, and Hansen has to cover that one up. So Crowther looked like he was going to get a stick on that, Jeremy, but I don't think he ever did as Hansen sort of jumped out and got that puck.
He did. He just came out and swallowed that up and it kind of eliminated the play. If you don't give them the opportunity, it's hard for them to make an opportunity.
Well, and Hansen's a big goalie. If he gets anywhere near that crease, he can use his reach to get out and get that puck, and he's done that a couple times already. Now Hoffman chips it down deep, where it's taken by Guy. That goes all the way around to O'Reilly, who slingshots it through the zone. He's bothered by Hoffman. O'Reilly shoots. Big save by Fry. Now Hall tries to chip it in. That goes off the side of the net. Now this squirts loose. Hansen comes way out to play it. Oh, and he just got that over the stick of Curtis. Wow, that was a crazy play.
Yeah, if Curtis would have tipped that, that might have been the first goal for the Bandits there because it was wide open.
Yeah, I think Hansen obviously wanted a little more on that. Instead, it sort of fluttered, and it just hopped over the stick of Sean Curtis, and it results in an icing call. So the faceoff will be to the left of Hansen. This will be Reynolds against Brad Hall. Reynolds wins it back. Back to Hoffman. That one's partially blocked. Now Reynolds will get it down deep. He battles with Taylor. Taylor again chips it, and this time O'Reilly chips it ahead just past Mavridis. And Dunt fires it over where it's taken by Reynolds. Nick Reynolds is bothered by Mavridis. Teammates a year ago on the Knights, but now find themselves opposite each other here in the semifinals.
It's one of the beauties about this league is kind of the mix-up of everybody.
Rebound. Fry makes two big saves, so Mavridis came in for the rebound and got it, but Fry was able to stop that one as well. So yes, we do redraft every year, and so you could find yourselves being in the opposite end of someone who was your teammate a year ago or the other way around.
I think it creates a good camaraderie between teams. You don't get as much, hostility from team to team. You don't have the rivalries.
Exactly. It's definitely one of the strengths of our league. Okay, Mavridis now battles with Reynolds. Still with the puck. He centers. That's broken up. Still in the slot, though. And now it's the Ghost who fires it up the middle, but he got it out. Fortner again puts it through the zone. Nobody there, so it's going to be retrieved by Shedawai. Up to Mavridis. Tom Mavridis gets around Jagerson. Tom still with the puck. He fires that wide. Now Simon Fortney now brings it out for the Bandits. He's got Dunt with him. Fortney now still with the puck. Still with it. And that one's swallowed up by Hansen. Didn't quite get enough on that. I think it was partially deflected. But any scoring chance from right in the slot is always a good one, Jeremy, and you got it on net.
You have to take the shot there, no doubt about it.
All right, so 3:25 to go, still 1-0 Knights. And good pressure is sustained here by the Bandits.
I feel like I've been looking to my left more than I've been looking to my right this period.
Is that the pizza or is that the play?
I think it's the play.
Okay, just checking.
I forgot there was even pizza up here.
Well, it's such a compelling game.
It is. It's very good.
It's a very good game. All right, so chipped in by the Bandits again. Busby has Etnier beat him to that puck, so Bandits will reset. McIntyre fires it up for Farron. And that one just is offsides. Saw Farron try to leapfrog that puck, but it got him right in the knee before he could clear the zone, so we're going to bring that back to center.
Mine of the D-League Radio is brought to you by So Cherry. Whether you're looking for a great new custom jersey for any sport or some fantastic T-shirts for your upcoming event, So Cherry is your one-stop shop for all your specialized needs. They have screen printing and embroidery for any team, sport, custom quilting. So Cherry can do it all, no minimum order, 1 or 100. SoCherry.com, the official outfitter of D-League Radio.
Puck is loose in the middle. Farron got that on the net, and that's turned aside by Hansen. Crowther keeps that, and Scott Crowther, fans on it. Now Farron battles with Etnier. Farron centers, but Gerhardy gets there first. Ryan Gerhardy puts on a burst of speed. He's trying to get around Crowther. He fires it wide. Jack Miller gets there first and keeps it in. Now McIntyre up to Busby, who reverses direction over to Foreman. But Gerhardy's going to get there first. Ryan Gerhardy fires right across the crease. Back to Miller at the point. Miller to Gibson. Centers to Gerhardy. Nice play there by Foreman to break that up. Now Foreman joins the rush. Dumps that deep. And now it's the Knights who regroup as Etnier gets it up to Fisher. Curtis Fisher looking for some help. Gets it up to Kreisa. Good stick there by Reynolds to take it off Kreisa's stick. Over to Dunt. Check that. That is Jordan Guy. Back to Reynolds. Back to Guy. And that one just goes wide. So again, here in the last minute of the first, and still the Bandits who are carrying the play. That goes behind the net. Now it squirts out. Where Reynolds will get to it. Looking to center, and that one's broken up. And now here comes Kreisa with 15 seconds to go in the period. Freddie Kreisa shoots. Fry makes the save, but there's a rebound available. Good play there by Hippen. That one's center. That goes across the crease. Big sequence there for the Bandits. Reynolds has it, and time expires. So after one, it is 1-0 Knights, and Jeremy, no shortage of action in that period.
That was a very exciting first period of play. Coming all the way, a 1-0 game in favor of the Knights. This has been playoff hockey. This is exciting. This is toe-to-toe, and this does not look like a 1 versus 6 that you saw in the regular season.
It really doesn't. You know, that's the beauty of the playoffs. Regardless of the records, everybody resets to 0-0 when the playoffs start. And, you know, the Bandits having to play last week in the quarterfinals, I'm sure gives them a nice boost of confidence. The Knights, on the other hand, are coming off really a 3-week layoff because we were off for Easter last week. So their last meaningful game was April 7th.
I believe both of these teams played the Goldfish for their last game.
I know, it's kind of ironic, right? The Goldfish faced the Knights on April 7th, and then the Bandits defeated the Goldfish in the playoffs 2 weeks ago. All right, so if you're the Bandits, Jeremy, do you change anything?
No, because they are doing a very good job of gaining control of the puck, putting pressure on it, and getting it into the Knights zone. They're doing a good job of keeping it in the Knights zone. I think they just have to keep doing what they're doing, and pretty soon one of these pucks is going to end up in the back of the net.
Well, yeah, the percentages definitely favor them because they're getting lots of chances. It's just a matter of can they finish. On the other hand, the Knights do have the 1-0 lead. Do they change anything?
They have to control this game a little more. They have to take away the opportunity from the Bandits because the Bandits are a hungry team, a Cinderella story, if you will. They are looking to capitalize on whatever they can at this point.
All right, so we're just underway here in the second. Taylor McKee chips it up to Hall. Brad Hall comes down the middle. He fires that wide. Current looks to clear, but it's kept in by Shedawai. These centers, that's broken up nicely by Current because O'Reilly was right on the doorstep. Fortney now just gets it out. Dunt fires down the middle, tries to get around Shedawai. Runs out of room, but great hustle there by Josh Dunt. Now the puck is loose in the corner, where it's taken by Brad Hall, who's bothered by the ghost, Jeff Fortner. Oh, now Fortney and Hall collide. Looks like everybody's okay. Fortner now tangles there, and now we're going to have a penalty call.
They calling a cross check on McKee?
It's the captain, Taylor McKee, going to the box. I'm not sure what that call is, but she is in the box, and now it's the Bandits who go on the power play. I think they got her for a hook, I think was the call. We'll check that later.
There was a bit of confusion down there. There was kind of a jumbled mess, so we will have to check that.
Puck is centered. Oh, and just fired wide by Ghost. And now the puck, or the net, has come off its moorings. It was a great centering pass, and Jeff Fortner one-timed it, and it just whizzed right across the crease. And if that had been on net, I think we had a tie game because Hansen never saw that puck.
No, Hansen didn't see that. There was too much traffic in front of him, and had the Ghost buried that, you'd be looking at a 1-1 game.
All right, so a minute 32 to go on the power play for the Bandits. Ghost battles, but O'Reilly emerges with the puck. Tries to get around Jaggerson. Good poke check there by Mark Jaggerson. And now O'Reilly gets it back and dumps it deep, where it'll be taken by Current. Becky Current gets it up to Ghost. Jeff Fortner tries to come down the middle and fires it on net and got a lot on that. So Hansen has to freeze that puck. Good play there by Fortner. He really couldn't see anybody open, so he put it on net, and he forces the face-off to the right of Hansen.
Sometimes the best play is just to throw it on net, too. He didn't really have an open person to get it off to. The Knights did a pretty good job of screening him out. So sometimes you just take your luck, throw it on net and see what happens. And in this case, Hansen, in good fashion, swallowed it up because that burns time from this power play.
Well, that time, Kreisa won the face-off, and it goes back harmlessly to Hansen. He elects to cover it up, and we're going to do it again.
Again, if I'm Hansen, I'm covering that every time because that just burns the clock on this power play.
That one's fired just wide, as Crowther got a lot on that. Now it's chipped out by Travis White. Crowther will get there for the Bandits as they regroup here in the last 10 seconds of the penalty. That goes right up the middle. McIntyre wasn't sure where that was. Now the penalty has expired as McKee comes back out. Now Foreman brings in, he's got Busby and Farron, but he catches an edge and goes down. And fresh off the bench, here's Gibson over to White. White back to Gibson and just goes past him. That was a 2-on-none there. Now Kreisa will keep it in. He centers it for White. White shoots, and that hits the post. That's in. So that puck came off the post right back to Travis White, who buries it, and really Fry had no chance on that, Jeremy, and the Knights have doubled their lead. It is now 2-0.
Yeah, Dan Fry had to, try to block a shot that came right back to the shooter. Those are difficult because he's just recovering from the first shot that comes in, and that second shot can go anywhere. It's hard to square back up with your shooter on a ricochet.
Well, and all the team can do is ask their goaltender to make that first save. After that, that defense has to clear that puck, but that happened so quickly, there was really no chance for that, and it results in the goal. All right, so now the Bandits again bring it in. Here comes Curtis. He's bothered by Gibson. That puck goes wide. Now Jonathan Taylor battles with Curtis. Now Reynolds turns in the corner. Reynolds makes some nice moves down there, battles with Taylor. But now it's Jack Miller who's going to emerge for the Knights. Miller chips it ahead, but Hoffman gets there first. That one caroms in right through the middle, but right under the stick of Hansen. Taylor fires it up and out. Now Hoffman will reset things for the Bandits. And here comes Gerhardy. Ryan Gerhardy has Gibson in the middle. Gerhardy has it roll off his stick as he's bothered by Hoffman. But Gerhardy gets it back. And I think we may have a crease violation as they blew that dead.
Yeah, they blew that one dead before the shot was taken. So.
Yep, I think that's what we're doing. I see referee Kelleher speaking with Gibson. I think he's telling him, you can't set up camp right here.
That becomes dangerous just for the goalie. When you're set up camp behind him in the crease.
It does. So that is a crease violation. The faceoff will come outside the Bandit zone. 13:52 to go here in the second. 2-0 Knights. Great to have you with us for the first of 4 broadcasts here on D-League Radio. That's dumped in.
I believe they're offsides, though.
By Shedawai. And you could hear the yelling, off, 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 and it is indeed an offsides. So they will reset it and try it again.
D-League Radio is brought to you today by Red Dragon Herbs. Cold weather has hit us again. You need to hit these guys up. Nice hot cup of tea. You can enjoy loose leaf tea at its finest from Red Dragon Herbs. They specialize in loose leaf tea from around the world. Custom tea blends smell and taste delicious. Find them online at reddragonherbs.net.
Yeah, so the farmers market starts next week, which is supposed to be the sign of spring, and here we are in 30-degree temperatures, so it'll get here eventually. All right, so the Knights emerge out of the zone. Kreis is trying to split the defense, and now Jagerson steps into him. And we've got a whistle. I don't see a, yep, and now it is going to be interference against Jagerson. Or are they calling Kreisa? It's Freddie Kreisa who skates to the box. And so it's the Bandits who get the power play. I thought that call was going to go against Jagerson, but instead the faceoff will come down to the right of Hansen. So, Jeremy, that was a very interesting play, and I don't think either of us saw that coming.
I didn't. You know, it kind of looked like, again, just kind of a jumbled mess that kind of happened just to the right of Dan Fry there, and the Bandits come out on top in that situation.
All right, so now Dunt gets it behind the net. He's looking to center and does. That goes all the way through. Jagerson's going to get there. He fires. That's blocked. That's going to be kept in by Dunt. Dunt chips it towards the middle. Oh, and then Fortney had a backhand, but it rolled off his stick. Now it's cleared by Hall. Minute 35 to go in the penalty.
The Bandits had a couple of good opportunities in there, especially with those centering passes, but it does highlight the concern of keeping your stick on the ice.
All right, Jagerson now tries to get around O'Reilly. Couldn't quite do that. And now it's chipped back in by the Knights. Now Foreman will regroup for the Bandits. So he brings it up the middle. Foreman chips it ahead to Farron. And that goes deep where it's taken by Jonathan Taylor, who wraps it all the way around, but Jagerson will keep that in. Jagerson shoots, got a lot on it. That's deflected. That was deflected by a Knights player, and it went right over the net. So big play there. Almost results in a goal. Now Foreman brings it out. Jackson Foreman. About 30 seconds left to go in the power play. O'Reilly does a nice job there, taking it off his stick once again. Etnier pursues deep. He wraps it around. That's going to go all the way out of the zone. Gerhardy tried to get around Crowther. Good play by Scott Crowther.
Good patience there, too, to get it in on sides.
Now Busby looks to keep it in, and Foreman just does. Great hustle there by Foreman to keep that puck in. It was right on the blue line. Now Farron chips it back, right to the point where Crowther has it. Crowther shoots, that's blocked. Now the penalty has expired.
So that will be icing.
That will be icing. I don't think they knew Kreisa was coming out of the box, or they may have been able to spring him as he was just coming out as they were clearing the puck.
Well, I'm not sure the Knights actually knew the penalty had expired because he had just come out of the box right about the time they got a hold of the puck, and they just sent it the length thinking they were still on the play.
All right, so we're just past the halfway point. 9:38 to go here in the second. Still 2-0 Knights. Bandits chip it in deep where it's taken by Taylor, who wraps it around. Good play there by Hoffman to keep it in. He battles with Gerhardy, and Gerhardy emerges with the puck, and he's got a step. Here comes Ryan Gerhardy for the Knights. Gerhardy. Oh, and he fakes and scores. What a beautiful play by Ryan Gerhardy. Fry came out to challenge him, And Gerhardt, he faked the shot and went to the backhand, and it looked like, Jeremy, I thought it was going to roll off his stick, but instead he just calmly puts it in. And that's a big goal, and now the Knights go up by 3.
Yeah, he did a really good job of really committing to Fry, to come out to Fry's left side. And when he did that, he came down ready to swallow up the puck, and Gerhardt just kind of calmly swept it around him to his right.
Well, and he showed there why he was the leading scorer for the Knights in the regular season. Okay, so 3-0 now, Knights. Bandits dump it in deep, but that was on the wrong side of the red line, resulting in an icing call. So the Bandits continue to press the issue, but now find themselves down by 3. But still a lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, we're only halfway through this game. They have to keep up the pressure. They have to keep pressing on. And they're bound to get one in the net with the effort and the pressure they're applying here to the Knights.
I think the important thing is they not get discouraged. And now the Knights continue to press the issue. I'm sure they're starting to feel like if they can get 1 or 2 more, they can really make it tough. Now Kreisa, he collides with Hoffman. Both players go to the ice. No call there. It was just 2 players kind of coming together at the same time. Kreisa fires, and that one goes off the skate of Jeff Taylor, just wide, and out right through the crease. Now McKee fires wide, so lots of pressure now by the Knights. Hoffman looking to clear, but kept in by Miller. And now chipped out, or it's taken by Nick Reynolds. Reynolds circles back. Smart play there by Reynolds, just sort of regroup. Now his teammates are back on side. Now Reynolds brings it in. Gets around Miller. Reynolds still with the puck, shoots, and
he scores.
What a play by Nick Reynolds, who danced his way through the neutral zone. You know, we talked for a moment that he kind of reset things by going backwards, and then he just took it himself and calmly kind of went through the entire Knights lineup there and has made a very important goal here for the Bandits as they are on the board.
He did. He just kind of gracefully stepped into the zone, skated around. He used Taylor McKee to screen Hansen and just kind of gently put it in the backside, and Hansen didn't even see it until it was in the net.
So big play there by the Bandits to counter that 3rd goal, and now it's a 2-goal game once again. Now here comes Josh Dunt. That goes across the crease as Jeff Fortner couldn't quite get to it. Now Current keeps it in. Loses it in her skates for a moment. Now it's chipped ahead to O'Reilly. Here comes James O'Reilly. He fires wide as he's bothered by Jagerson. Now Dunt looking to clear. Take a funny bounce off the glass. Now Dunt up to Fortney. Just gets past him. And John Taylor will get there first. Fortney now tangles. He's looking to center. Big pile there behind the net. Now Dunt gets it back on his stick. Again, a deflection. And now it's Mavridis who emerges for the Knights. Gets over to Brad Hall. Brad Hall's got some room and got some speed. Hall shoots, and that goes wide. O'Reilly keeps that in. And now it does pop out. Shedawai has it. He's just going to dump it down past O'Reilly. And the Knights are actually still off sides. And now the play is blown dead.
I'm seeing a growing trend in offsides being called and no one really listening to the offsides being yelled.
Yeah, usually that's something you see more in October, maybe early November. Usually by this time of the season.
There have been points where there have been 3 or 4 people on the same team who are offsides, and they're still skating down in there. I don't know if they're not hearing it, if they're not paying attention. They think it's the other team just messing with them.
Well, call it the energy of the playoffs. Everybody's a little excited. Gerhardt now, he shoots. That goes off the crossbar. As Gerhardt just came all the way in and just about put a 4th goal on board for the Knights. Etnier, he battles with Foreman. Now Foreman gets around Miller as he goes down, but he's okay. Now Miller retrieves it. Up to Curtis Fisher. He's bothered by Crowther, who sends that wide. So again, a good forecheck by the Bandits. McIntyre keeps it in temporarily, but now it comes back out where it'll be taken by Curtis Fisher. Fisher dumps it in deep. Now Crowther, he's bothered by Gerhardy, who steals it. Gerhardy comes around front. That's stopped by Fry. That one's chipped out by Foreman. Now Foreman gets around Etnier, but he's got to beat Jack Miller. Miller does a nice job of sealing him off. Busby keeps that in, and now Etnier will chip that out. McIntyre just dumps it back in as the Bandits are in the middle of a change. Now here's Sean Curtis just off the bench. That one's chipped in, but Hoffman gets there for the Bandits. Tried to hit Farron up the middle, and that missed everyone.
Yeah, that just seemed to go through everyone's skates there.
Yeah, I thought about 3 different players were going to touch it. Instead, it gets through cleanly, and we have an icing call. 3 minutes to go here in the second. Still 3-1 Knights.
D-League Radio is brought to you by Eggs and Jam, located at 1907 E.P. True Parkway in West Des Moines. Breakfast and brunch restaurant has taken Des Moines by storm. It's a great atmosphere that awaits you with 90s hip-hop themed. The crazy artwork on the walls is only surpassed by the food, fantastic dishes, the freshest local ingredients, and daily specials. Full drink menu also available, Bloody Marys, mimosas, open until 3 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. Eggs and Jam in West Des Moines.
All right, now the Bandits looking to get back on sides. Travis White gets there first as he brings it out. Trying to stick a Kreisa. Good poke check there by Reynolds, but Kreisa gets it right back. Kreisa still with the puck. Centers, and Travis White was wide open. So Kreisa just did an incredible job, Jeremy, of fighting his way through about 3 Bandits players, and Travis White was absolutely wide open in that crease, and there was nothing Fry could do there.
Yeah, Carl Kreisa created, Freddie Kreisa has created such a scene there on the ice in that play that I think everybody on the Bandits team was focused on him because he was just creating so much attention, just doing so much with the puck that everybody was looking at him. Fry was able to sneak in on the back door undetected and just dump that in. And good job by Freddie Kreisa to just find the open man sitting at the back door.
Now here comes White again. This time he's looking to get it back to Kreisa. Maybe no, he shoots. That's stopped by Fry, and there was a rebound available. Still poking at it, and now the whistle blows. As White said, hey, I sort of like scoring a goal. I think I'll do it again. But Fry had other ideas. And once again, it's stuck in his pads.
Yeah, I lost sight of it a few moments ago, but they kept poking around like it was out.
Well, and this is something I haven't quite understood. I've seen a couple goaltenders do this, wear shorts. I would think if that bare skin of those legs hits the ice, it's got to be cold.
Well, I think if that skin hits the ice, that means they're on their back and they have more things to worry about.
Well, this is true. That's usually when the puck's in the net. All right, so the face-off to the left of Fry. One back by Hall. Now Taylor fires. That hits the outside of the net. Hall now looking to center. Tries to get around Fortney. That's blocked again. Here comes Simon Fortney. Kept in nicely by Mavridis. Now Hall chips it deep, where Jagerson will take it for the Bandits. Mark Jagerson gets it up to the Ghost, Jeff Fortner. That's sealed off temporarily by Hall, and now Jagerson does get it out. And that is the end of the second period. So, after 2 periods, it is 4-1 Knights.
Knights had a strong surgence of 3 goals in this period, but the Bandits, not backing down, came in with their one and showing that they are here to play still. They're not going to just be walked over. They're going to control the puck. They're going to come down, and they're going to put some in the back of the net. Yeah,
great pushback by the Knights that period. I think they had their attention aroused there after that first period. The Bandits came out firing with great pressure, and it really carried the play for much of the second there. But the difference was the Knights this time were able to counter, and they made the most of their chances. on a couple beautiful individual efforts that resulted in almost tap-in goals. And now the Bandits have a real tall order as they find themselves down by 3 entering the third. So I'll pose the same question. They're down by 3, but do the Bandits change anything?
You know, I don't think they can. You have to keep applying that pressure. The only thing they need to change at this point is getting the shots on net. They're doing a good job of getting it in the zone. They're doing a great job of keeping it in the zone. They really need to just find the puck and get good shots, be in position to get the rebound and bury those in.
Yeah, and it's a great point because although Hansen had to be sharp on a few instances, it wasn't like the first period where they were getting them on net. And although they did score the 1 goal, I'd say they had more chances in the first period. And, of course, the Knights just want to keep doing what they're doing and spin this clock. All right, so now Dunt brings in for the Bandits. He's got Fortin in the middle. He fires from the sharp angle. And Hansen stirs that aside. And Mavridis emerges. Now it rolls onto the stick of Hall. Brad Hall brings it in. He's got O'Reilly and Mavridis. Jagerson spins around there as the puck goes straight up. Now we got a high stick. Mavridis gets it back though. Fires and O'Reilly buries it. So Jeremy, that was a strange play. There was going to be a high stick call had the Bandits touched the puck, but instead it went right under the stick of Mavridis, and I think all the Bandits sort of stopped skating. Mavridis alertly got it over to O'Reilly, who then absolutely buried it. Again, nothing Fry could do, but now it's 5-1 Knights.
I think the Bandits were surprised by that. They all seemed to be kind of out of position. There was at least 4 of them there on the right side faceoff circle, not knowing really what was going on. And all it took was the Knights to kind of camp out right behind Dan Fry, and they just kind of buried in behind him.
All right, so McIntyre looks to send it up, but Gerhardy keeps that in. Gerhardy centers, that's blocked by Crowther. Now Farron battles with Gibson, who sends it right up the middle but gets away with it as it just comes out of the zone. McKee gets there first and dumps it back in for the Knights. Gerhardy gets around Crowther. Gerhardy brings it himself. Gerhardy still with the puck. Shoots it just wide. He tried to go to that same backhand move he scored on earlier, but this time it rolled off his stick.
Dan Fry was up to the task on that one, too. He came over with him.
All right, now the Knights dump it back in, but McIntyre will get there first. He chips it up to Farron, but that goes all the way through onto the stick of Hansen. Gets it up to the captain, Taylor McKee, and now Jonathan Taylor chips it out. Now Gibson up to Gerhardy. Gets around McIntyre. Gerhardy fires wide. Now I think we're going to have a call here as Gibson is in the center of the ice and slow to get up. That's going to be Ken Busby going to the penalty box for the Bandits. I did not see the actual call. If I had to guess, I would say it's a trip. But down by 4 goals, that's the last thing you want is to be shorthanded, but now it's the Bandits who find themselves exactly in that situation.
Yeah, and I don't think Ken Busby was really purposely trying to trip anybody there, but being down by 4 goals, you know, I'm sure the adrenaline and the excitement might have taken away from him. He might have been trying some things that otherwise wouldn't.
And now the net again at the north end is off its moorings. It seems like we've seen that instance a lot this year. That net just comes off so easily.
Yeah, and it seems to be at this end of the ice.
Yeah, not so much under the lounge end, but at this north end especially, it comes loose quite often. So the face off to the right of Fry. It's one back. Kept in temporarily by Taylor. Now it's Shedawai who dumps it in deep. It's retrieved by Hoffman. Hoffman just killing some time off this penalty. Smart play there, although down by 4 goals, the Bandits are definitely going to start pressing the issue here shortly.
Yeah, the deficit they have to overcome, they need to be looking at getting a shorthanded goal.
And that time, it looked like Fry had that puck, but it must have been loose because there was no call. And Travis White came in and poked it through, and now it is 6-1.
Yeah, I think that Dan Fry just thought he had it in his blocker somewhere. It went in 5-hole and kind of stopped, and it was just sitting there in the blue paint real close to the goal line. And then, like you said, Travis White comes skating up and just pokes it from behind him right the rest of the way in.
So Travis White scores his first goal on a beautiful setup in the last period and now has just a poke-in goal here. And now his team is up by 5. No quit, though, in the Bandits as Reynolds brings it in. Tries to get it up to Fortney. That goes to the corner. Fortney can't get around Shedawai. Now it's reversed. Up to Kreisa. He's right up the middle. Good poke check there by Jagerson. Take it off his stick. Now Reynolds brings it in. Kind of got tangled up with Dunt, his teammate, but they kept it just on sides. Now Kreisa fires it up for White. White gets it over to Taylor. That's broken up nicely by Dunt. Good hustle there by Josh Dunt. Back to the point. That's fired and broken up nicely by Jagerson. This will not make it to icing as Fortney is in pursuit. Jonathan Taylor gets there first. Now Dunt follows. He centers it and just rolls off Reynolds' stick. Good hustle play there by the Bandits, who just quite weren't able to convert that one. And the Bandits look to get back on side, so Dunt dumps it in deep. 12 minutes to go, 6-1 Knights. Dunt now over to Fortney. Fortney fires. That's turned aside by Hansen. Jagerson now. Mark Jagerson fires. That one's deflected all the way to the sideboards. Now it comes ahead to O'Reilly, who dumps it in deep. Jagerson runs along the boards up to Dunt. And that comes out where it's retrieved by Etnier. He sends it up to Mavridis. Tom Mavridis brings it himself over to Hall. Hall right in the top of the slot. He fires, and that's gloved by Fry. So very good patience there by the Knights as they look to set that up, and Hall ended up with a great opportunity, but Fry snagged it to keep this score at 6-1.
Oddly enough, these teams have set up kind of like their mascots would say. The Bandits have come out, really running and shooting. The Knights make it look like a chess match. Not to put a stupid pun in here, but
no, I like it. It's very accurate. You're right.
But that seems to be what's happening.
The Bandits are definitely more the run and gun style, whereas the Knights, as you said, sort of set it up like a chessboard. They get everybody in position, they move the puck well, and they end up with some fantastic scoring chances. That one's poked through. Hall gets it in the middle, right in the stick of Mavridis, and that goes wide. Now Foreman. Jackson Foreman comes up the middle. Trying to get around Etnier. Foreman still with the puck. He pulls up now and fires. Hansen turns that aside. Good play there by Foreman. Foreman gets it back. Now Hall gets it for the Knights. Right up the middle. And that chipped out nicely by O'Reilly. Otherwise, that was dangerous. So Crowther now gets her for the Bandits. He tangles with O'Reilly. And that one goes right across the middle, but nobody home for the Knights. Now Miller gets it in. He chips it in. That comes right off the board, straight out. We've seen that so many times this year with that Zamboni door. Now Mavridis gets it for the Knights. It rolls off his stick, and it's cleared by McIntyre. So that results in the icing. And with 9:20 to go, it is 6-1 Knights.
D-League Radio is brought to you by the Cake Stand, and their primary sponsor of D-League Radio for its 4th straight year, located at 3530 West Town Parkway in West Des Moines. Over 90 beers on tap with new tappings every week, special events and parties throughout the year. Food specials all day Monday through Friday, open till 2 a.m. every day of the week. It's a great place to hang out with friends or catch the big game on one of over 15 big screen TVs they have there. They are the official home of the CIDL and, as always, the official home of D-League Radio.
So the Knights bring it into the zone again. It's Fisher. Tries to get around Hippen. Hippen turns that to the corner. Ooh, now he goes right into the corner. It looks to be okay. That was a nasty fall there, because both players are slow to get up. Thankfully, they both do, and that puck goes right into the middle, and now it's cleared out. Hansen will play it, though. And lots of stuff going on here as the Bandits bring it in. Centers, shoots, and that goes right over the net as Hansen just got a piece of it. Centered now. Busby tries to get it in there. Now Hansen freezes it. So, Jeremy, even with a 6-1 score and under 8 minutes to go, there's no quit in the Bandits. They continue to press and hustle.
No, and that last sequence of plays coming into the zone, they're still coming in running, guns blazing. Like you said earlier, they have not given up. They have not lessened any of their effort, any of their attitude. The 6-1 goal has not deflated them at all.
Hoffman has that one blocked by Kreisa. Now Hoffman recovers, otherwise Kreisa was off to the races. Now McKee gets it back to Freddie Kreisa. Now Kreisa again, who's seemingly everywhere. Gets it up to Taylor. Back to Kreisa, but it rolls off his stick. As Hippen gets that out of the zone, and now the Knights have to reset. Hoffman will get there first, gets it up to Jordan Guy. Now all kinds of stuff going on there at the blue line, resulting in a reset for the Bandits. Here comes Hoffman. Gets around Taylor. Jeff Taylor, that is. All right, Reynolds shoots. That's blocked. Reynolds pursues it. That squirts out. Reynolds again. All kinds of hustle from Nick Reynolds. Taylor McKee wraps it around. Partially fanned on it, so Dunt's going to get there first. Actually, that's Guy. Back to Becky Current. Gets down to Reynolds. He backhands that wide. Curtis now behind the net. Tries to go with a wraparound. Hansen gets there first, though. Back to Hoffman at the point. He fires. That's blocked by Kreisa, but kept in nicely by Reynolds. So, again, good pressure by the Bandits. And now it's White who gets there and trying to emerge this, and does for the Knights. 5:45 to go, still 6-1 Knights as both teams make changes. Hoffman goes for the stretch pass just past Jeff Fortner. Fortner gets it off the stick of Taylor, fires that just wide. Now Jack Miller gets it up to O'Reilly. Miller now chips it up to Hall. Has it roll off his stick. Now Jaggerson gets it. Mark Jaggerson. Has it chipped off his stick. Now the Bandits will reset, but now Hall intercepts in the neutral zone. And Brad Hall brings it in. He's pursued by Fortney. And now Hall in the middle looks to center. That's blocked. Mavridis now gets it back to the point where Jack Miller takes it. He fires. That goes just wide. Good pressure from the Knights. Now Jaggerson looks to clear. Good keep in there by Jonathan Taylor. That was deflected. And Fry had to be sharp there, Jeremy, because that one changed directions.
Yeah, James O'Reilly almost redirected that right into the net. And Fry was on his toes and came down on that to help keep it out.
All right, so 4.5 minutes to go now. The faceoff will be to the left of Fry. 6-1 Knights. Finally, it looks like teams are set.
Almost.
Well, a last-minute change there as the Bandits were going to have 6 players out there.
The Bandits need to they don't have time on their side. They need to make it happen.
All right, here comes Dunt now, looking to get around Jack Miller. Miller did a nice job there at keeping him to the outside. Fortney fires wide. Jeff Fortner sends it right into the stick of Dunt, but it bounced right off his stick.
Yeah, that was the kind of thing that, Dunt was right there, and he was ready to make the play. He just couldn't get control of it.
Now Dunt collides with John Taylor. No call there. That's centered to Fortney. Fortney shoots that wide. Again, good pressure by the Bandits. Dunn sends it deep. Fortney sends it in the middle. Now Dunt. Dunt fires. That was blocked by Jonathan Taylor. Dunt just couldn't quite get it off in time.
No, that had the markings of a really good goal, but Dunt couldn't quite get control of it, and it gave Hansen enough time to get to the other side of the net and really square up on him.
Now Gibson tried to get it to Fisher, but Jagerson gets there first. He will wrap it around to Fortney, who brings it out past Gerhardy. Tried to get it up to Foreman. That rolls off his stick. And here comes McIntyre. He dumps it in deep. And that's cleared by the Knights just off the reach of Fisher, resulting in the icing. 2.5 minutes to go, 6-1 Knights. And Jeremy, I think this is one of those games where the score is not really indicative of the level of play, because the Bandits have really skated well today. They've certainly had their chances. They just haven't been able to finish them.
Yeah, if you just look at, what's happening on the ice, you'd be compelled to say that the Bandits are dominating this game, but the scoreboard tells a very different story.
All right, so the Bandits again apply the pressure. Foreman now centers it all the way across the crease. Travis White now gets it out, but not quite past McIntyre. Good play there as he brings it back in. Chris McIntyre tried to center it, but Etnier got there first. And now it is cleared. Now here comes Travis White. Looks like he was making a drop pass there, but Busby gets there first. He loses an edge and goes down. Foreman right up the middle. It's intercepted by Etnier. Etnier puts it right on the stick of McIntyre, and it's cleared. That will result in the icing. Minute 15 to go. The clock continues to run because we are not within a differential of 2 goals or less. So just about to the 1 minute to go in this contest. Reynolds wins it back. Hoffman now clears. He's trying to spring Sean Curtis, but it got way too far for him, but good hustle there to catch up to it. Now Curtis looking for help. He's got Reynolds. Reynolds fires, and that's deflected over the net. That one's wrapped around. Hoffman keeps it in. Centered, off a skate. Puck is just laying there. Hansen's trying to get to it, and now finally does.
I don't think anybody knew where that one was. Everyone just looked like they were dancing around the puck.
Well, it ricocheted. You and I could see it, I think, better than the players for some reason because there were so many bodies down there. And good sportsmanship there by both Jordan Guy and Sean Curtis not to hack at Hansen. Once he had that puck, they both kind of let up a little bit, which is what you should do. Now Reynolds with a great shot. Now Hansen somehow made that save. I don't think he saw it.
Well, the goalie's helmet's off. They need to.
Hansen's helmet does come off. Thankfully, no contact was made, and he's okay. And the first novice semifinal is in the books as the #1 Knights advance with a convincing 6-1 victory over the Bandits. But as we were just saying a few moments ago, not really indicative of the level of play. The Bandits acquitted themselves, I thought, quite well today, Jeremy.
They did. They played really hard. And like I said, I can't help but, I'm a dad. I'm going to throw out the dad joke here. Can't help but comment on the 6-1 victory of the 6-1 seeds. #1 team only giving up 1 goal, and the 6th team giving up 6. So we're just going to let that ride the way it is. But, yes, the Bandits came out guns blazing the entire game. They never really gave up. They just kept pressing the issue. Only able to bury 1 goal. The Knights, completely different type of style of play. They're out there with patience. They're out there setting up just plays that you don't always see coming. Like I said, it's like a chess match with the Knights. They're out there. It's not exciting, but it works. They're setting things up, and they're making plays happen. They come around. They showed why they're the number 1 seed, coming away with a 6-1 victory today.
Yeah, they really did. And, we talked a couple times now about it really was closely contested despite the score. And here's the first stat that backs that up. The Bandits actually outshot the Knights today, 19-18. And again, looking at the score, you wouldn't have guessed that, as it was the Knights who definitely took care of their chances, especially in the second period when they really started to take control of the game. So let's go over that scoring summary for you. At 7:15 of the first, it was Brad Hall on the power play, unassisted, to open the scoring for the Knights. And then in the second period is when most of the action occurred. Travis White off a beautiful pass from Tim Gibson to make it 2-0. And then Ryan Gerhardy at 10:46 to make it 3-0. And then Nick Reynolds on just a brilliant individual effort as he danced around the neutral zone and then just really threaded his way through the entire Knights defense. Gets on the board for the Bandits, but as it turned out, that would be their only tally of the day. Travis White countered again at 17:56 from Freddie Kreisa to make it 4-1. And then in the third, just 36 seconds in, off a beautiful feed from Tom Mavridis, James O'Reilly makes it 5-1. And then finally, Travis White completes the hat trick from Freddie Kreisa at 4:04 to make it 6-1. So the Bandits will now play in the third place game, and the Knights advance to the novice final to face the winner of the Voodoo and the Wild Goose. So let's look ahead just a moment to that game. Your thoughts on the matchup of the Goose and the Voodoo?
Again, that is a game that I really don't know what to expect as far as a winner is concerned. The Voodoo have been playing very well lately. It's one of those things where they've kind of come on late in the season. The Goose have played very steady all season. Not much fluctuation there from beginning to end, but the Voodoo are hot right now. They started off real slow. They're coming in real hot in this. Their game last week was very impressive. Their games at the end of the season were very impressive. I don't see a clear winner here, and I really don't see an easy win for the Goose, who are coming in as a favor as the number 2 seed in the division.
Yeah, agreed. So a great one coming up. Be sure to stay tuned for that. And then as we mentioned, there are 2 more games after that as the intermediate side of things takes stage, as at 3:30 the number 5 Wolverines and defending champions take on the number 1 seed Iowans. And then at 4:45 to wrap up the day, the number 3 Benders take on the number 2 Jesters. All right, so 1 semifinal in the books, 3 more to be decided. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoy bringing it to you here on D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV. So for Jeremy Sandy and executive producer Rich Harms, I'm Matt Whips. You've been listening to D-League Radio.